Hello, dear students. This is Zeeshan Hashmi. UPSC has starkly changed the way in which it has been asking questions in the prelims paper. In prelims 2023 paper, it asked which animal can make tools or which area has experienced massive sea level changes or what are the inherent properties of some mushrooms or what are the basics of the Niger plant and so on. So the important question is, are we mindful of these changes and are we preparing in accordance to the changing needs of the exam, or are we still stuck in the rote learning mentality and in writing test after test after test which are totally disconnected from the changing needs of the paper? So in today's video, we'll be having a look at some of the questions asked in the 2023 paper. We'll try to understand how these changing trends have been taking place, and the All India Prelims Open test, which will be having very similar questions. The questions that we are going to discuss today, it will be having very similar questions so that you can stay abreast with the changing needs of the present exam format. So very quickly, let's move to the first question. Before mentioning about the first question, you can register for the test. The link is given in the description box below. Okay, so the first question is, which one of the following makes a tool with a stick to scrape insects from a hole in a tree or a log of wood? And the options are fishing cat, orangutan, otter, and sloth bear. Now let's assume we don't have any idea about this question. Many of my students reported to me after the exam that they were totally caught off guard by this question. They had no idea whatsoever about this question. Now probably some of the students might have watched some random program on the Discovery Channel, and because of that they knew the correct answer, which was orangutan. But what about those students who had not watched that particular random program on the Discovery Channel? So what is UPSC trying to say to us through questions like these? Basically, UPSC is expecting us to use our pre-existing knowledge rather than becoming bookworms and sticking our heads only in the books. Use our pre-existing knowledge in real time while we are sitting in the examination hall. So in other words, UPSC is asking us which of the following four creatures is the most intelligent, because the most intelligent among these four creatures would be automatically well suited to make tools for XYZ so and so purpose. So the correct answer here is orangutan, which we derived using our pre-existing knowledge. We did not have a direct answer to this question. Similarly, let's compare this with a question asked in 2021. The question was with reference to India, the terms halbi, ho and kui pertain to dances, forms of Northwest India, musical instruments, prehistoric cave paintings and tribal languages. Again, let's assume we have no idea whatsoever about this question. If we skip this question, we neither get it right and we nor get it wrong. As simple as that. But if we want to get that edge with respect to others, we'll have to take risk, we'll have to take that leap of faith. Now coming back to the keywords, halbi, ho, kui. Now using our pre-existing knowledge, we have heard many other tribal communities and their languages which sound in a similar manner or which are named in a similar manner. So if I have to take risk, I'll take the risk in favor of option D, that is tribal languages, which is the correct answer. Otherwise, there is no way out to answer these questions correctly solely based on your knowledge. Here we will have to be creative. In the previous question as well, we were creative. We used our pre-existing knowledge, and the same thing we did with this 2021 question. And just to remind you guys, the upcoming open prelims test paper will have similar questions for you guys. Moving ahead, again in 2023, UPSC asked, which one of the following is the best example of repeated falls in sea level, giving rise to present day extensive marshland? Bhitarkanika mangroves, Marakanam salt pans, Naupada swamp, run of Kutch. Again, in the class, I asked the students to not give me the correct answer, but I asked them which of the following four options which you eliminate first. Which of the four options would you eliminate first? And the majority of them said that we would eliminate run of Kutch. Then I asked them, you don't know the correct answer for sure, but how are you so sure about eliminating run of Kutch? They said that, sir, it sounds a bit counterintuitive. The question is about sea levels or drop in sea levels, and run of Kutch is a dry land, it's a desert, it's a salt pan, and so on. But interestingly, the correct answer here is run of Kutch. UPSC has been asking such counterintuitive questions, and this is not the first year UPSC has done this. Let's compare this with a question asked in 2021. The question was, with reference to Madanapalli of Andhra Pradesh, which one of the following statements is correct? Four options were given. I asked the students, don't give me the correct answer, but tell me which option would you eliminate first. Again, most of the students said, sir, option C we would eliminate first. I asked them the reason. They said that, sir, option A, Pingali Venkayya, option B, Pattabi Sita Ramayya, option D, Theosophical Society. These all had some sort of footprints in South India. But Rabindranath Tagore belonged to Bengal. So it is highly unlikely that he would have done something from Madanapalli of Andhra Pradesh. Interestingly, that was the correct answer. Option C, Rabindranath Tagore translated the national anthem from Bengali to English here. Again, a very good example of how counterintuitive questions are being asked by UPSC. We saw this question from 2023, rise of sea levels, run of Kutch, and from 2021, Rabindranath Tagore having done this particular activity in Madanapalli of Andhra Pradesh. So just to remind you guys, such counterintuitive questions you will also be finding in the All India Prelims Open test. Moving ahead. Fine. Now after the paper, when students reported to me, they said that this question was something that was asked out of the box. They had no idea whatsoever, or how do they answer this correctly. They told me that they had some idea about mushrooms having medicinal properties and mushrooms having insecticidal properties, but mushrooms having psychoactive properties or bioluminescent properties, they were ignorant about. Most of the students were ignorant. Only a handful of the students knew the correct answer for sure. So let's have a closer look at this question. Statement 1 says some mushrooms have medicinal properties. Are we sure that there is no mushroom in the world that has medicinal properties? No, we are not sure. It might be true, it might not be true. Statement 2, some mushrooms have psychoactive properties. Are we sure that there is no mushroom in the world that can have psychoactive properties? It may be true, it might be false. Some mushrooms have insecticidal properties and some mushrooms have bioluminescent properties. Again, are we sure that there is no mushroom in the world that has bioluminescent properties. Just because we don't know doesn't make that particular statement automatically wrong. Now it may be right, it may be wrong, but we don't have a strong reason to eliminate either of the given four statements. So in this case, we use feasibility test, and by using feasibility test, we assume the given statements to be correct. We don't know the correct answer. So essentially, we are taking risk. We are taking that leap of faith. We are marking option D, all four, as the correct answer, and which is the correct answer. Moving ahead, there was a similar question in 2023 itself. The statements were, some microorganisms can grow in environments with temperature above the boiling point of water. Now this is harsh environment, boiling point of water. Can microorganisms grow in that environment? We don't know. Statement 2, some microorganisms can grow in the environments with temperature below the freezing point of water. Again, very harsh environment. But we really don't know for sure whether some microorganisms grow or can't grow in that environment. Statement 3, some microorganisms can grow in highly acidic environments with a pH below 3. Again, maybe, may not be, we are not sure. Again, the same case as we saw in the previous question. We are unsure of the given statements, and just the fact that we have no idea about the given statements doesn't make it automatically wrong. It may be right, it may be wrong, but by using feasibility test, we will assume the given statements to be correct because we don't have a strong reason to eliminate either of the three statements. We'll take that risk and we'll mark option C, all three, as the correct answer, and option C, all the three given statements are correct. So in the upcoming All India Prelims test series, which is free for all, we'll be having similar questions. Moving ahead. Now, again in 2023, UPSC asked, the government of India provides minimum support price for Niger seeds. Statement 2, Niger is cultivated as a kharif crop. Statement 3, some tribal people in India use Niger seed oil for cooking. Now, the question is, have we by hearted the entire MSP list as to which all products are given minimum support price by the government of India? Have we by hearted it? Most probable answer is no. And some students even told me that they had heard about the Niger crop for the first time. So we don't know whether statement 1 is true or false. Statement 2, Niger is cultivated as a kharif crop. Again, whether it is kharif, whether it is rabi, we have no idea whatsoever. Option 3, some tribal people in India use Niger seed oil for cooking. Now here we can say that tribal people use locally available foodstuffs. Now that, be that oil or be that other foodstuff, if it is locally edible, if it is healthy, tribal people use those things. So it is possible that tribal people might have been using Niger seed oil for cooking. So we don't have a conclusive answer. We are stuck. Again, we'll be using feasibility test and we'll be marking all the three as correct. We are taking a leap of faith. We may very well go wrong, but the risk is worth it. We'll mark option C, all three are correct, and all three is the correct answer. Now let's compare this with a question asked in 2021. UPSC had asked, with reference to furnace oil, consider the following statements. It is a product of oil refineries. Now, most of the people are likely to know that furnace oil is a product of oil refineries. Statement 2, some industries use it to generate power. Now, we might not be sure about this, but if something is coming out as a byproduct of oil refineries, probably, possibly, it might be used for generation of electricity, power. Statement 3, its use causes sulfur emissions into environment. Now here compatibility between statements. If statement 2 is true, statement 3 is more likely to be true, because if it is being used to generate power, it is likely to create not only sulfur emissions but emissions of many other kinds. Again, we don't have a strong reason to eliminate any of the given statements, assuming we are not sure of the correct answer. Again, we'll use feasibility test, we'll take risk, and we'll mark all option D 1, 2, 3 as the correct answer. So in this question from 2023, where the question was centered on the Niger plant, the Niger crop, and this question from 2021, where the question was centered on furnace oil. At both the places, we assumed that we don't know the correct answer for sure, or even we went a step ahead and said that we have heard about these things for the first time. Still, we could mark the correct answer, and exactly this is what UPSC is expecting from us, that we take that leap of faith even though there is risk involved. So again, the upcoming paper will have similar questions in the paper. So guys, fill the registration form available in the description box below so that you can attempt the All India Prelims Open test. The top 50 students, the students getting highest scores, will be getting scholarship for the Dominate Prelims 2024 program under my mentorship. So do register for the test. This is Zeeshan Hashmi signing off.